Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Pad Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagra Jatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagan Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. Hare Krishna. So we revive our study of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. It's a gap of almost a week since we started on the answers given by Srila Shuta Goswami. So we saw in the 7th and the 8th verse, Srila Shuta Goswami is answering the first two questions. Who remembers the first two questions? Prahlad, you are hearing all the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam classes?
Krishna Prabhu is done our pranam Prabhu. I have here, but only recording and all I hear Prabhu, because I did not have book and all, I cannot read.
No problem. You remember the questions? The 6th and 7th verse gave the answer of the first two questions. What were the questions of the sages? The first two questions.
I did not remember Prabhu all because
you have to study and hear, little more attention. मानिनी माता जी सुनाई दे रहा है आपको?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी।
धन्यवाद। पहले दो क्वेश्चन, क्या दो प्रश्न थे जिसका उत्तर दिया श्रील सूत गोस्वामी ने 6th और 7th वर्ष में?
क्वेश्चन बोल रहा है ना कि क्वेश्चन बोल रहा है प्रभु जी?
हाँ, पहले दो प्रश्न क्या थे जिनका उत्तर दिया? पहले प्रश्न जाने हैं फिर उत्तर, और फिर उसके बाद आगे बढ़ेंगे।
क्वेश्चन, हाँ प्रभु जी, फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन, व्हाट इज द एब्सोल्यूट गुड फॉर द पीपल?
वेरी गुड।
सेकंड वन इज द एसेंस ऑफ द ऑल द स्क्रिप्चर्स।
वेरी गुड। सो आप टीचर हैं, तो यू आर अ गुड स्टूडेंट एंड आल्सो अ गुड टीचर, आई होप। तो ये जो प्रश्न थे, दिस वाज द टू फंडामेंटल क्वेश्चंस, दैट व्हाट इज द ultimate and the absolute good for everyone, and what is the essence of all scriptures, and what is the answer? Who will reply the answer? Yes, Pradeep Prabhu, what is the answer? Yeah, go ahead, unmute and speak. Every day you send me sadhana card saying that you are reading all these verses. Every day you are sending the same verses. I am observing for last 5 days. So please answer quickly. Unmute and speak.
The ultimate and absolute good for the welfare. To engage in the devotional service, Prabhuji. To please the Supreme Lord.
What is the verse?
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Janmadhyasya Anvaya Vitaratasya Abhijñaswara.
No, what are you speaking? I am asking the answer. I am not asking the first verse of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. What is the answer? What was the verse? Srila Goswami quoted. Very famous verse. Every day you are saying that you are revising the second chapter. In relation to what the question has been asked, what is the answer given by Srila Sutta Goswami? What is the verse? Nothing new. The same two verses that we have discussed in the last two sessions.
Yasvanubavam Akilisudisaram.
No. That is the glorification of Bhagavatam and Srila Sukadeva Goswami. I think you are a little, spaced out. No will answer. Pranab Prabhu, what is the answer he gave?
Prabhuji, in verse 6, Savai puṁsāṁ parodharmo jato bhaktiradokshaje. Unflinching, unmotivated, uninterrupted devotional service to the Supreme Lord.
Very
The
good.
ultimate good.
Savai puṁsāṁ parodharmo. That parodharma. So that parodharma, our Acharya says, is sadhana bhakti. And what this sadhana bhakti leads to? Yado bhakti radhokshaje. That sadhana bhakti leads to raga nugala bhakti. Spontaneous loving devotion. It invokes the attraction for the Supreme Lord. And that devotional service, as you said, it has to be ahetuki and apratihata. And then what is the next verse? What was the next verse? I hope you have all memorized. I was expecting that you will be memorizing all these verses. Very, very popular verses, very important verses. Yes, Ramya?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
वासुदेवे भगवते भक्ति योग प्रयोजिते जनयति आसु वैराग्यम ज्ञानात् यत्
Jnanam chayata hetuka. What happened? Winter has caught you. Take care, because winter has started to set in and pollution level is very, very high in Delhi. It has become like a gas chamber. So keep yourself healthy and fit. Many months back, I told you that in your sadhana, you should integrate some kind of yoga and pranayam. But I don't see anyone integrating it in their sadhana. It is a must. Because if you don't remain fit, neither you can do sadhana, nor you can do swadhyay, nor you can do seva. Then, Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Adhokshate. So that Bhakti Yoga. And automatically what comes? Dhanayati asu vairagyam jnanam chayat ahetukam. So now, after having described the bhakti unto Lord Krishna as the topmost goal for all classes of men, now from the verse 8, Srila Sukadeva Goswami will describe how one can attain bhakti by prescribed work. So we will see the next verse. 1 minute, I'll share the screen. Who has memorized all the verses by the time I come? From 3 to 7. That actually there is nothing to memorize. It is automatic. It should be automatic. Who can recite 3 to 7? Very good. Ravinder Prabhu and Priyanka Mataji. Sonika, Pranab, very good. Manoram Prabhu? You also. Very good. So please recite. We will hear from Manoram Prabhu. From verse number 3.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
I'm maybe a little bit stucking in between, but I'll try, Prabhuji. Yes. Svanuṣṭhitaḥ अखिल श्रुति शरम एकम अध्यात्म दीपम अतिथितीर्षताम तम अंधम संसारिणां करुणय अह पुराण गुह्यम तम व्यास सुनम उपयामि गुरुं मुनीनां नारायणां नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयत् मुनय साधु पृष्ठ अहं भवाद्भिर्लोकमङ्गलम् यत् कृत कृष्ण सम्प्रश्न येन आत्मा सुप्रसीदति.
Very good.
स वै पुंसां परः धर्म यातो भक्तिरदक्षजे अहेतुकी अप्रतिहत ये आत्मा सुप्रसीदति. वासुदेवे भगवति भक्ति योगा प्रयोजितः जनयाति आशु वैराग्यम ज्ञानम च यद अहेतुकम.
Very good. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for making this attempt. See, you were saying that you are not able to memorize the verses, but everything is possible in association. Matchita madgata prana bodhyanta parasparam. The spirit of Shastric study has to be only one, which Krishna is prescribing. It is bodhyanta parasparam. We help each other to come close to Krishna. Everything else will be revealed. Yes, Pranab Prabhu, your big hand is up. Go ahead.
यस्यानुभावम् अखिल श्रुति सारमेकम् अध्यात्मदीपम् अतिथितीर्षितं तमो अंधम् संसारिणां कारुण्यः पुराण गुह्यम् तं व्याससूनुम् उपयामि गुरुं मुनीनाम् नारायणं नमस्कृतं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयत्. मुनय साधु पृष्ठहं भवद्भिर्लोकमङ्गलं यत्कृता कृष्ण सम्प्रश्नो येनात्मा सुप्रसीदति स वै पुंसां परो धर्मो यतो भक्तिरधोक्षजे अहैतुकी अप्रतिहता यत्मा सुप्रसीदति. वासुदेवे भगवती भक्तियोगा प्रयुज्यत जनयाति आसु वैराग्यम ज्ञानम च यद अहेतुकम्. हरे कृष्ण.
Thank you. Thank you. 5 verses together. Good. Very good. We can memorize full chapters. Please continue in the same spirit. Who else? One more. Yes, Ravindra Prabhu. No, Sonika also.
अस्मानुभावम् अखिल श्रुति सारम् एकम् आध्यात्मदीपम् अतिथितीर्षतां तम अंधम् सांसारिणानां करुणया पुराण गुह्यम् त्वं व्यास सूनुम् उपयामि गुरुं मुनीनाम् नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवी सरस्वती व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. मुनयः साधु पृष्ठहं भवेद्भिर्लोकमङ्गलं यत्कृत्वा कृष्ण सम्प्रश्न येन आत्मा सुप्रसीदति स वै पुंसः परो धर्म यतो भक्तिरधोक्षजे अहेतुकी अप्रतिहता ये आत्मा सुप्रसीदति. वासुदेवे भगवती भक्ति योग प्रयोजितः जानयाति आसु वैराग्यम जानयाति आसु वैराग्यम ज्ञानम च यत् अहेतुकम.
Very good. Wonderful. Little Rianshi also. I can hear her voice from the background. She was supporting you. Ask her to recite.
Prabhuji, he memorized only one verse.
No. She, you know, she gave me all the 3 verses. And she had written Munyo Sadhu Prishto Ham on the board. Rianshi?
एक्चुअली वो मुझे डिफिकल्ट हो रहा था, उसको 2 बार बोला, वो लिख दिया, मुझे कोई बार के बाद हुआ था वो.
कोई बात नहीं. रियांशी आप बोलिए.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी.
हरे कृष्ण.
साधु पृष्ठो हम भवद्भिर्लोक मंगलम यत्कृता कृष्ण संप्रश्नो येनात्मा सुप्रसीदति.
Very good. Perfect recitation, perfect meter, perfect pronunciation. Very good. और क्या याद किया आपने? बाकी दोनों बहुत इजी है. अटेम्प्ट नहीं किया? चलो आप.
नमस्कृतं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जय उदीरयेत्.
जाओ. और कौन सा याद है? वासुदेव भगवती. सिंपल है.
नहीं याद है.
अच्छा, कोशिश करना आप. कोशिश करना. ओके सोनिका, फाइनल.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी.
हरे कृष्ण.
यस्वानुभावम् अखिल श्रुति सारमेकम् आध्यात्मदीपम् अतितीर्थश्रतां तमोऽन्धम् संसारिणां कारुण्याः पुराणगुह्यम् संव्याससूनुम् उपयामि गुरुं मुनीनाम्. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्. मुनिः साधु पृष्टोऽहं भवद्भिर्लोकमङ्गलम् यत्कृतः कृष्ण संप्रश्नो येनात्मा सुप्रसीदति. स वै पुंसां परो धर्म यतो भक्तिरधोक्षजे अहेतुकी अप्रतिहता ययात्मा सुप्रसीदति. वासुदेवे भगवती भक्ति योग प्रयोजितः जन्यत्यासु वैराग्यं ज्ञानं च यद् अहेतुकम्.
Very good. Very inspiring. So after having established that bhakti is the highest religion, paro dharma. So how to achieve bhakti? What is the process? And the process is by one's prescribed work. Like Krishna also prescribes. What one has to do? One has to perform his prescribed duties. Very beautiful verse. Again the verse to memorize. Dharma svanuṣṭhitaḥ puṁsāṁ viṣvaksena-kathāsu notpādayed yadi ratiṁ śrama kevalam. Dharma svanuṣṭhitaḥ puṁsāṁ. So dharma, we all know what dharma means as per Bhagavad Gita. What Krishna says? Karmanyevadhikaraste. You have only one right. What is that right? Is to perform your prescribed occupational duty. So here, Srila Sudha Goswami is saying that how to come to the platform of performing bhakti is by engaging in one's occupational duties according to one's position, svanuṣṭhitaḥ, as one is situated as per varna and ashrama. Svanuṣṭhitaḥ. Puṁsāṁ is for all the humankind. And while being situated in one's prescribed occupational duty according to varna and ashram, what one has to do is very, very important. Viṣvaksena-kathāsu. Viṣvaksena is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is a plenary portion of Krishna. And Kathasu, you all know, is the message or Krishna Katha. So what one has to develop? Ratiṁ. One has to develop attraction or affection for hearing the glories of the Supreme Lord. So he's saying, Shuddha Goswami is saying, na notpādayed yadi ratiṁ. While performing occupational duties, while performing the prescribed services, one, if he is not developing ratiṁ, ratiṁ is what Prabhupada says here, attraction or affection or absorption, then that occupation is śrama kevalam. It is useless labor. So what is the purpose of being engaged in all kind of prescribed occupational duty? Is to have an opportunity to hear and glorify the Supreme Lord. And what is the purpose of hearing and glorifying the Supreme Lord? Is to develop attraction for him. And if one fails to do that, all of his effort, all of his endeavor is useless labor. The occupational activities a man performs according to his own position are only so much useless labor if they do not provoke attraction for the message of the personality of Godhead. See, this is the message of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And how we can do that? How it is possible for us to develop ratiṁ towards viṣvaksena-kathāsu here? I'm asking this straightforward, simple question. What is the most easy and effective way of developing? You see, dharmaḥ, svanuṣṭhitaḥ puṁsāṁ, dharmaḥ svanuṣṭhitaḥ puṁsāṁ viṣvaksena-kathāsu notpādayed yadi ratiṁ śrama kevalam. So here, Srila Goswami is warning that one may be very expertly or with very much success performing his prescribed occupational duty, but it is useless labor if one does not develop attraction for hearing the messages of the Supreme Lord. So what is the message from this verse? And how we can come to this platform of developing ratiṁ? Please share. Open up so that we can proceed. Yes, Sonika?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, we can engage ourselves as much as possible in different kind of devotional services. Through that, we can develop the attachment and attraction towards Lord and hearing.
What is your answer, Madan Swarup Prabhu?
All our activities, Krishna should be in the center. Even in our day-to-day activities, Krishna can be center of activities.
But is it so? Who is in the center? The point is, while performing prescribed duties, occupational duties. So what is the consciousness? Who is performing? Who is the doer?
Generally, we take ourselves to be the doer.
That is it. That is the point. That is the point. So here Srila Sutta Goswami is saying, is if one does not develop, so it is a useless labor. So what we have to do? That we should not get into this useless labor. Or our labor becomes labor of love, which becomes fruitful. Labor is going to be there, but it should not be useless labor. How it can become labor of love? You understand what is labor of love, no? Like the mother, she all day works very hard. But what is the purpose? Because out of her love. The husband goes out and works very hard. Why? Out of his love for his wife and children. What one thing we have to do, Pranav, so that it does not become a useless labor?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, by dedicating the fruits of our endeavor to Lord Krishna.
Don't speculate. The answer is already mentioned here.
Regular hearing.
Yes, we have to every day hear. The day we do not hear, that day is a useless labor. Simple. It's a useless waste. That day we have wasted. Such a clear and crisp and bold reply is coming upfront from Srila Sudha Goswami. If we fail to hear, that means we have wasted that day. Whatever we have done is a big zero. Okay, let us see the purport. It will become more evident. There are different occupational activities in terms of man, different conceptions of life. To a gross materialist who cannot see anything beyond the gross material body, there is nothing beyond the senses. So this is depending on the level of one's consciousness. Therefore, his occupational activities are limited to concentrated and extended selfishness. Concentrated selfishness centers on the personal body. This is generally seen amongst the lower animals. Extended selfishness is manifested in human society and centers on the family, society, community, nation, and world with a view to gross bodily comfort. Please watch out, very, very powerful conception Srila Prabhupada is giving, and he is dismantling. Misconceptions he is dismantling. So these are gross materialists, where the center is Dehapatya Kalatradishu, family, society, community, nation, world. And what is the goal? Is bodily comfort. Above, these are called gross materialists. Above these gross materialists are the mental speculators who hover aloft in the mental spheres, and their occupational duties involve making poetry and philosophy or propagating some ism with the same aim of selfishness limited to the body and the mind. So they have, the gross materialist is completely centered around the body and senses. But someone who is little beyond, who is extended selfishness. The Prabhupada is saying that those who are on the mental sphere, for such people, they are involved in such philosophical engagements. But above the body and mind is the dormant spirit soul, whose absence from the body makes the whole range of bodily and mental selfishness completely null and void. Yeah. So if the soul leaves, neither the body works, neither the mind is there. It is both dead. But the less intelligent people have no information of the needs of the spirit soul. Because foolish people have no information of the soul and how it is beyond the purview of the body and mind, they are not satisfied in the performance of their occupational duties. The question of the satisfaction of the self is raised herein. Very important. We say job satisfaction or satisfaction of the self. So Prabhupada is asking this question, that the question of satisfaction of the self is raised herein. The self is beyond the gross body and the subtle mind. He is the potent active principle of the body and mind. Without knowing the need of the dormant soul, one cannot be happy simply with the emoluments of the body and mind. The body and the mind are but superfluous outer coverings of the spirit soul. The spirit soul need must be fulfilled. Simply by cleansing the cage of the bird, one does not satisfy the bird. One must actually know the needs of the bird himself. You with me? Very clear. Now Prabhupada comes to the point. The need of the spirit soul is that he wants to get out of the limited sphere of material bondage and fulfill his desire for complete freedom. He wants to get out of the covered wall of the greater universe. He wants to see the free light and the spirit. That complete freedom is achieved when he meets the complete spirit, the personality of Godhead. There is a dormant affection for God within everyone. Prabhupada is explaining ratiṁ. Spiritual existence is manifested through the gross body and mind in the form of perverted affection for gross and subtle matter. Therefore, we have to engage ourselves in occupational engagement that will evoke our divine consciousness. So what is that occupation which will invoke our divine consciousness? Is the process of hearing and chanting. Daily and attentive hearing and chanting. This is okay. Here comes the point. There is no need to interpret. Prabhupada's purports are very clear. This is possible only by hearing and chanting the divine activities of the Supreme Lord. And any occupational activity which does not help one to achieve attachment for hearing and chanting the transcendental message of the Godhead is said herein to be a simple waste of time. Clear? So all occupation we are engaging, or any prescribed duty we are performing, the purpose has to be only one. What is the purpose? Is that it enables us, it supports us, it uplifts us to be able to every day hear and chant the divine activities of the Supreme Lord. And that occupation which does not allow us to be able to perform this divine chanting and hearing is a simple waste of time. It's useless labor. So, and not help one to achieve attachment for hearing and chanting of the transcendental message of the Godhead is said herein to be a simple waste of time. This is because other occupational duties, whatever ism they may belong. What is isma? Who has understood the ism? Prabhupada is explaining this isma. What is isma? In 2 words you can answer. Yes, Madan Surup Prabhu?
Some speculative philosophy.
Very clear. It is very clear from the purport. What is isma? Concentrated selfishness and extended selfishness.
Okay.
Everything is covered in this. Everyone in this world who is on the material plane or on the mental plane or even on the intellectual plane is within this sphere of either concentrated selfishness or extended selfishness. So here Prabhupada is again warning us, hammering. Whatever ism they may belong to cannot give liberation to the soul. Even the activities of the salvationist are considered to be useless because of their failure to pick up the fountainhead of all liberties. The gross materialist can practically see that his material gain is limited only to time and space, either in this world or in the other. Even if he goes up to the Swargalok, he will find no permanent abode for his hankering soul. The hankering soul must be satisfied by the perfect scientific process of devotional service. So the process is to hear viṣvaksena-kathāsu. And who will hear and how well will hear? If he has developed some ratiṁ. Not just to hear like, as Prabhupada says in one of the purports, like hawks. One does not have to hear like hawks. What does it mean to hear like hogs? You remember? From the 15th chapter we discussed in Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada very strongly used the word, one should not hear like hogs. What it means? No one remembers. 15th chapter we have discussed at least 3 times. Full chapter. In last 3 years. Yes, Manoram Prabhu?
I think it was just simply not caring whatever is coming, Prabhuji. Means whatever we are hearing, not giving any importance to it. Just coming and
what it means to give importance?
The message what we are getting, Prabhuji, like spiritual message, we are not putting our heart and soul to that.
Okay. Can you complete? Still, you have come very close. What it means to put heart and soul?
Means accepting the fact, Prabhuji, accepting the fact as it is.
Okay, yes, Sonika?
Prabhuji, accepting the facts means it should be applied in the real life. Whatever message is coming, it should be applied.
It has to be integrated in our own life. At least an attempt has to be there, a desire has to be there to change as per the message. So see, very first up, it is being said that all occupational duty, so you see, that is why the career selection should be, job selection should be, partner selection should be, any selection in life has to have this criteria. This is the first and the foremost criteria if one wants to progress in bhakti. That you have sufficient time and opportunity for hearing and glorifying the messages of the Supreme Lord. Unless and until one does that, the entire life is a useless waste of time. It's a useless labor. notpādayed yadi ratiṁ, śrama kevalam. dharmaḥ svanuṣṭhitaḥ puṁsāṁ viṣvaksena-kathāsu. I was very happy. Pradeep Prabhu was every day, poking me. Prabhuji, should I schedule the class? We will have the class today. And before asking me also, day before yesterday he gave. And that day somehow I was so tired that I came to have a power nap, and that power went off and there was only lamp. I could not wake up. So very good. If we are developing some ratiṁ for hearing, it is a definite indication of one's progress, according to Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. This is the process of progress, is to hear and chant. I am seeing most of your sadhana cards. Most of you have continued beyond 16th. Very good. It is a challenge, no doubt. It is difficult, not easy. It will never be easy. Is material life easy? What is easy in this world? So why should we have useless labor? Why not struggle here? Very clearly Prabhupada is saying in the purport. Again I am emphasizing. Therefore, we have to engage ourselves in occupational engagement that will invoke our divine consciousness. This is possible only by hearing and chanting the divine activities of Supreme Lord, and any occupational activity which does not help one to achieve attachment for hearing and chanting of the transcendental message of Godhead is said herein to be simply waste of time. So, as I said, this should be our criteria for any selection in life. I remember once, with my teacher, I was trying to travel early. He said, no, there is no question of early travel. You first complete your round and then travel. Because in travel, you won't be able to chant. So our travel plan or any plan, our career plan, our marriage plan, whatever may be the plan, the criteria for any plan has to be that should fulfill this purpose. If it fulfills this purpose, then it is purposeful. Otherwise, it is just a useless waste of time. So this is the first step Srila Goswami is recommending in achieving a parodharma and bhakti adhokshaje, is to select an occupation where one has the opportunity for glorifying the Supreme Lord. Then he says, dharmasi apavargasya nartho arthaya upakalpate narthasya dharma ekantasya kamo lobhai smrita. So what is the purpose of religious principles or following dharma? Dharma hi apavargasya. Apavargasya means upward, is beyond this varga of this material existence. So that means that gives one the freedom from material entanglement. Here Prabhupada is saying it is apavargasya is liberation. So what is the purpose of dharma? What is dharma? We have seen dharma, which is being defined as performing one prescribed and occupational duty, is to attain liberation. And na artho arthaya upakalpate. So they should never be performed for material gains. Na artha arthaya upakalpate. Why? Because arthasya dharma ekantasya. According to sages, one who is engaged in the ultimate occupational service should never use material gain to cultivate sense gratification. What is people's understanding? What is foremost? What do they say? The follower of the ritualistic scriptures, dharma. What is the purpose of dharma? Is artha. And what is the purpose of artha? Is kama. But Bhagavatam is kicking both. Is kicking artha and kama. So what is it saying? Dharma hi apavargasya. So dharma should only be used for liberation. One should not get into the entanglement of artha and kama. He will be entangled. He will be caught. So again I am reading. Why one is performing occupational duty is to be liberated. All occupational engagement are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. They should never be performed for material gains. Na artho arthaya upakalpate. And one who is engaged in occupational service should never use material gains to cultivate sense gratification. Kamo labhaya hi smrita. Neither artha nor kama. Clear? Any questions so far? We will discuss this verse tomorrow. Krishna willing. No, tomorrow is IARI session. And Sunday, I want to make a declaration that from today, Bhagavad Gita marathon has officially started. Today is the first day of December. And please try to wrap up everything by 31st of December. Okay? Ravindra Prabhu, I was expecting your scorecard to be sent to me. At least, what is the pledge? Who was left that day who was not there? So you please share to me. And Sunday, you please dedicate Saturday and Sunday both. Most of you have Saturday, Sunday off in book distribution. Saturday, of course, we will have the IERI Spiritual Scientist class. But Sunday, I am willing to waive off the class because you can focus on book distribution. And every week, we will update the score. Okay, is that okay? So it will give an impetus to us. And it will, force us to come out of our lethargy. Okay, any questions so far? Yes, Sonika.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. In the 8th verse, it was told that any occupation which is not leading all of us to get attracted towards the Lord or devotional services, so it is waste of time. So, Prabhuji, in this material world, almost all occupational means all the jobs are like that only. They are not leading us to get attracted towards Lord. So, Prabhuji, how can we proceed?
So we have to proceed in the way Krishna is prescribing, in the way his representatives are prescribing. So we have to dedicate our time, a certain portion of our day in performing devotional service, beginning with hearing and chanting. If the whole world is going to suffer, are we happy to suffer with them? And that is why all of them are in ignorance and they are leading a life which will again and again restrict them to the material existence. Should we follow them or should we follow the path which the Supreme Lord is prescribing so that we can be released?
Yeah.
Mahaprabhu said, Dharma sarthak kari and kar parupkar. We have to make our life successful and then help others to come out of this bondage. That is the responsibility. Whoever has taken birth, Bharat Bhumi te manush janma hoila ja. Okay. Anyone else? So please keep revising in between, we will not be able to have full stretch of 30 days like we had in Kartik because our vow also is to distribute as many books as possible. So, but we will remain connected because this devotional service is very important and very dear to Krishna and all our acharyas. Thank you very much. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol.